The movie's about the world coming to an end. It's all these shadows going everywhere, and my mom died, so I'm all alone in the world, and I'm kind of meeting different people as people are dying. So it's scary.
It's just exciting, suspenseful, thrilling, and it makes you think.
It was a dream of mine to work with Brad Anderson. It really was. I'd seen The Machinist, and I thought, man, this guy, whoever did this, I want to work with this guy. He just creates this sense of creepiness and madness and insanity, and it's so real, and you don't know where it's going.
I always wanted to do a horror movie in a bar, and I was trying to figure out how to do it without a monster. So essentially, the idea like non-existence itself as the entity felt sort of spooky. So we originally wanted to do for a low budget, like $200,000 or $300,000, but it never came to be. So I kind of kept it back in the back burner, and then sooner or later, it finally got going with Brad Anderson.
It's all about the material with Brad. And I met him after reading the script and being utterly compelled by the story and the suspense and the truth of this fairly, out of this world situation, a very sort of surreal context, but the truth that was played out seemed very real. And then Brad and I talked, and I really responded to his passion for the characters and his enthusiasm.
Well, it's like a lot of movies, the financing was falling into place even as we were getting ready to shoot the movie. I mean, It's always a sort of touch and go type process. But, so, this past fall, or this fall, late summer, early fall, we were patching it all together. We had gotten Hayden and Tandy and John on board, which helped us trigger the financing. And once we realized that Detroit was the place to do this, it fell together very quickly.
I don't do too good with names or the actors and stuff, so I was like, who is Hayden Christensen? Who is Tandy Newton? Who's John Cushman? And then I saw their face, I was like, oh, snap, that's them.
And you're like, I've seen them.
I've seen them before, so it was very exciting. I'm becoming real cool with the actors, so it's been a lot of fun.
I mean, casting is always, you try to get the people you have in mind. You meet people who you might not have had in mind, but then after you meet with them and you chat about it, you realize that they really have what it takes, and that can be exciting. I mean, it's a very sort of organic process.
And it was no surprise, actually, when we got talking that Brad was an anthropologist. I also went to university and read anthropology, but that's the way he approaches his work. It's almost like he's doing field research or creating an ethnography. It's all about the story, it's all about the characters, it's all about finding the truth within the network of facts. And he's fascinated by the dynamic between the characters in these different contexts.
I think what Brad Anderson and Anthony Jaswinski are doing in the script is just incredible, man. I mean, it's like, this is the stuff that really scares me, not like other movies where I feel like it's just, I don't know, I feel it's kind of silly and ridiculous, and you see it. This movie, actually, when I read it, I was really creeped out and scared in my own house, because it's things that you really think about. I mean, it's your own fear sometimes that scares you even more.
John Leguizamo and I, we did American Buffalo together on Broadway, which was fun, and that was about 8-9 months ago, and now we're here again, and it's just fun, particularly guys we had a relationship, and just everybody's nice, and it's more like a team at the end of the day.
The great thing about this movie is that it's like a lot of my nightmares, and my own paranoia, and it's smart because it really could happen. I mean, all the stuff we talk about, the antimatter and smashing particles in CERN and Geneva, are all really happening. People are picketing over there, and they're afraid they're going to create small black holes, but they might create one that's too big that'll swallow the entire planet. I mean, I'm always paranoid and neurotic. I mean, that's just me. But now Brad has added an extra layer with actual facts, and a lot of websites that I go to that are apocalyptic, and I can't wait to see how creepy and scary this movie's going to be.
Detroit, really, it was a big open question for me. I didn't realize, to be honest, didn't have a lot of, I mean, I knew it would be visually probably a good place to shoot a movie that is essentially a kind of apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic film. But it was, I I was surprised at how much I actually ended up really liking Detroit and liking this town and this city, and despite its hardships and despite the difficulties, you know, for the obvious problems here, it's so much soul.
Just look at this place. You couldn't fabricate a place like this. I mean, it's like Gothic. It's so on a massive scale. We're shooting in a place where Henry Ford built his first cars. I mean, and look how massive the steel structures are. It's incredible.
It's one of the few movies that sort of, you know, for what it's worth for me, the way I envisioned it, it really kind of came out to be. You know, it's got this creepy apocalypse around the corner. There's not a lot of jolts, but that wasn't what it was intended. It's the idea to sort of like, you know, make the hairs on the back stick up, you know, and hopefully, but by the time people come out of the theater and they have, you know, that feeling, we have done our job. So it looks like that's the direction it's going in. So
definitely
very psyched about that.
It's gonna be sad kind of leaving the set. I mean, we really feel like everybody really got close. We were really on a mission to do something really great and special, and I think everybody was really giving everything they had. And you don't really luck into those kind of situations. You know, sometimes a job is a job.
Yeah, the end is near, so to speak.
You can see the finish line.
And you know, I'm so far very happy with the results. I think everyone's been doing a great job, so we're excited.